The NFL scouting combine has wrapped up, and we begin talking about the offensive line right before we head to talk about the defense. Let's waste no time. Five names. Let's jump right into it. The first name is going to be Caden Proctor out of Alabama, a solid tackle option, specializes with power and downhill blocking, able to get to the second level and supports the outside rush as well, setting the edge nicely on those runs. Shines brightest against one-on-one man-up blocking, as he can be a bit hesitant when someone isn't man up on him and they're playing more so off to his shoulders. Just something to keep an eye on there for him. Can't really get back enough to help with certain QB dropbacks. That's just going to be something based off who the quarterback is and how far back their 3 or 5 step drops are. Has the potential to be a really solid tackle or guard at the next level. Would probably be better early on as a guard, since you would be able to get him assistance on certain things that he is struggling with. Wouldn't have to stand alone as often. But the higher upside would be him being a standout tackle. So you probably gonna want to work him more as a tackle. But if he can also be in high level guard, you will take that as well. Yeah, Caden Proctor going to be a first round pick, most likely going to be viewed as the best offensive lineman on this board. I'm not surprised by that. I expect him to be an instant impact guy for a team and being able to just showcase what he can do during training camp and into the preseason, and then be able to maintain that into the regular season. Next up is Keelan Rutledge out of Georgia Tech, ranked the highest in athleticism at the combine amongst offensive linemen. That's not really a surprise, as in Georgia Tech, they were a very run heavy scheme, and because of that, he needed to be able to be very athletic. He didn't bench at the combine, but he did produce the fastest shuttle time and a top 5 3-cone time. Can handle basically any run blocking concept you can throw at him, and thanks to his massive athleticism and his time at Georgia Tech. But due to that, at the same time, he does have some issues with pass pro, especially against the bull rush. His recovery isn't the greatest, paired with below average body control and contact balance. He's going to struggle against some power rushers. Solid depth piece early, with the upside of being a really solid starter at some point in his career. Someone that, if given the opportunity, is going to be the high impact guy. And I can also see him being a 6 lineman in certain sets due to his high value athleticism, and that be a way for him to see the field early during regular snaps and not just in the special teams department. I do really like Keelan Rutledge, probably I wouldn't even say sleeper pick, because I do expect him to be a day 2 pick at some degree, but definitely someone that I would not be opposed Miami drafted, and I'm very excited to see what he can do at the next level. Next up is Jake Slaughter out of the University of Florida. Not the most athletic of options on the board, but he did run a 1.74 10-yard split on his 40. He is light on his feet and able to slide pretty easily and aid in edge-to-edge rushers. Does pretty solid on outside zone due to his quick acceleration, to be able to get out there and get into space. High football IQ as well, and his awareness allows him to adjust on the fly, does make up where he lacks in other aspects of his game. Not the physical blocker, might be an option to move him around the line depending on the need, and can be a very solid backup or even someone to look for in like a 6 lineman type of role, similar to Rutledge early on. But he's going to be most likely a solid backup, with being that main go-to six offensive lineman. Whereas Rutledge, you can expect him to start at some point. I mean, and this is due to just the other issues in Slaughter's game. But again, his prowess in the outside zone game and just in general when it comes to being out in space, going to make him a really solid 6 lineman and a really solid depth piece for some team. Next up, Pat Coogan from Indiana, the Rose Bowl MVP, en route to a national championship for the Hoosiers. Technically sound with the fundamentals, centers his opponents and keeps them there with very solid strength and tight hands. Able to reset quickly and thrives best in gap and inside zone schemes. Doesn't do the greatest in the second level. Also, like most of these prospects, he does have a tendency to struggle against some bull rushes, but that's something that can be worked on for both him and for all of these other guys. A team is going to take a chance on him, mostly due to the natty and the respect he has garnered from his peers due to his really high intelligence and his seemingly fantastic leadership abilities. He was a cornerstone leader on that Indiana team, and it was great to watch him and go on that run and throughout the season being the cornerstone piece of the offensive line. He can develop into a really solid starter, and I'm really excited to see what he can do in the next level, and I'm very excited to see where he ends up being drafted in late April, because he is someone that you're going to want to watch him play if he can take that next step in his game. And even if he ends up being a solid backup option, still someone that you can be pretty confident in to step in for a few games if need be, especially early on. But the idea is he develops into that really solid starting center option for someone. The final guy is Cage Casey out of Boise State. Didn't grade out the greatest at the combine, but he still has athletic ability to be able to make the jump to the next level. Good lateral quickness, finishes his blocks well, can spot approaching pressures from the outside pretty well also. Can handle the power rushes well, solid all around in pass pro. Can definitely work on his timing with combo blocks as the secondary blocker on those, as well as his skills against speed and finesse. Whereas most of the guys we've talked about today, they have struggled a bit against bull rushes and power. He excels in that, but struggles a bit against that speed and finesse, which is something he's definitely going to need to work on at the next level, as there is a ton of elite level edge rushers that are going to be trying to attack you with speed and finesse. More so than bull rushes, that's more so for guys in the interior. Casey is someone that likes to line them outside at tackle. Can step into a solid depth piece early and be able to develop into a quality starter for some team. I really have a lot of respect for these group of five guys like Casey, who's went to Boise State. Him making the jump to the next level is gonna be really fun to watch. Someone that you take a flyer on him early day 3. If you probably get lucky, there's a good chance he does go in the day 2 range. But someone that given the right circumstance, he might be an instant impact guy. And even if he doesn't truly go to like a proper team to develop him, still someone that at some point is going to hit that next step and be someone that you can probably depend on at that tackle spot. So there you have it, 5 offensive linemen from this year's class. As we shift over to the defense side of the ball for both these draft previews and the free agency previews, going to be shifting some things around, going to 4 names that kind of better fits the position groups. If you're thinking in a 4-3 for defensive line and 3-4 for linebacker, you get the point. There's going to be 4 names beginning with the next group of positions as we get closer to free agency starting and closer to the UFL starting. Hope to see you. Hope y'all stick around and see you all next time. Have yourselves a damn good one.